Okay, hopefully I'm coming out live. Just give it a second, just for. There we go. Excellent. Let me just check my volume's coming out. It's like got. Oh, let me just put this in. My mic in. There we go. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay, all good. So hopefully I'm coming out live. Wait for people to join me. Give it a second for things to start working. Let's have a look. Okie dokie. Oh, good. So people are joining. Excellent. So, a couple of people. So, before I start rambling on, let me just turn that off. I don't want myself in surround. So, let's have a quick look. Okay, cool. People are joining. Excellent. So, welcome. Final day of the recaps of the 7 days of dog sports challenges, which I've been running all this week. So, just again, want to shout out to everybody. This has been a challenging week. Definitely, in terms of the various things that have been going on, and seeing your videos of the joy and fun that you have been having with your dogs all 7 days has definitely been a massive help for a somewhat challenging week, should we say. It just reminds you again how important our dogs are to us, and the time that we have with them is really precious. So thank you very much for all of those that have participated in this week's 7 days of challenges. I hope that you've had fun with it. That was the intention, and to give you a little bit of insight into your training, areas that you can improve, areas that you can make better, areas that you can just expand your dog's knowledge and understanding. All the challenges that I've set this week will underpin in some way, shape or form your dog's dog sport training and skill set. So going from Simon Says, we evaluated the dog's understanding. That was the first challenge. It was about evaluating the dog's understanding and creating the clarity of verbal cues versus body language, and holding ourselves accountable, and gave us a process to expand our dog's knowledge. I talked about the success protocol, knowing what you have and knowing what you want, and the gap in between is just the dog training that needs to be done. So massive huge part of my foundation training with my clients, with my students, irrespective of the level that they're at with their dogs or the problems they have. Simon Says is one of the most important games that I teach people, because it really does get them to evaluate how well does their dog understand a behaviour. Whether it's a dog that they want to compete at the elite level of dog sports, or the dog just has a behavioural challenge. If we can create reliability and consistency in what the sun's coming out there, in what we ask of our dogs, then hopefully, I'm going to lean back a bit, hopefully we can have more confidence in what our dog can do, irrespective of the environment, irrespective of the distraction, irrespective of the location. So massive part of certainly my training and that of my students. So hopefully you've taken loads from that first game. Then we moved on to, I'm pretty sure it's the hand touch. Let me just check, because I've lost track of the games. There were so many of them. Oh, hang on a second. Let's have a look. So day 2 was the hand touch challenge. So hand touch, 3, obviously the various levels. 1 was statically, 2 was with proofing, 3 was with movement. So hand touch can be used for so many skills. It can be used for husbandry behaviours, it can be used for sport-specific behaviours, and targeting behaviour, which we did in the other challenges, is something that I encourage everybody to really incorporate into their training. It's so many benefits. Things that in the past, when I started dog training a few years ago, would have caused me challenges. Now with the aid of Target, I can make it so much clearer and easier for my dog. A hand touch or a hand target, a constant hand target, can be changed into lots and lots of different behaviours and modified for heel work training, for tracking, for retrieve training, for sendaways, for agility behaviours. There's so many ways in which you can use a nose target. So hopefully you got loads from that. Third day was with the retrieve. So again, retrieve is one of the core skills that we want to teach our dogs. Whether it's a formal retrieve for competition, where the dog runs out, picks the article up and comes back to us, excuse me, or an informal retrieve where we're just getting our dog to bring the toy back to us. It can help our training be more efficient. So giving your dog the versatility to be able to pick up any article that you throw out for them is a huge skill worth investing in. So in the challenge, it was about different sizes of articles: small, medium, large, and then if you really wanted to push the boat out extra large. And the fantastic, the fact that so many of you had a go at that with your dogs and had fun with it. You come up with some really great, crazy articles, so that was fantastic. Then we moved on to, it was the target. So 1 target, 2 targets, 3 targets, 4 targets, 5 targets to do with your dog. And again, targeting, as I discussed with the hand touch, is such an integral part of how I train my dogs and how I advise others to train their dogs, irrespective of the sport. The beauty of target training is that you teach one skill and it can be used in so many different ways. So in actual fact, it actually helps expedite the process of training your dog. You can cheat the system. One behavior has about 20 different uses, so it's such a great thing to consider target training. And also body awareness, which is a massive part of preparing our dogs for dog sports. We want to condition our dogs, we want to make sure that they're fit and sound, we want to make sure that they're healthy. So having a dog aware of its body and its individual legs, and its walking backwards, walking sideways, walking forwards, etc., can really help you overcome any physical problem, which is something I shared in the recap. That was the experience I had with my boxer Punch. But also with all my dogs, body awareness is a massive part of what I do with them. Not only to keep them fit, but it's a great thing for those of you that struggle with behavioural challenges. And, if you're struggling in the outside world to create simulation enrichment, you can do it in your living room with body awareness. Great thing to teach your dog. Day 5 was the play and release. Teaching our dog to grab a toy, which obviously we discussed in the recap, how to build play and motivation. And then subsequently teaching our dog to release the toy. A massive part. No point in your dog grabbing the toy unless it can readily let go of it and then re-engage with the toy. And also being able to leave the toy and then focus on you to get the toy. That whole premise with all of my training is about do something to get something. And applying that logic in all different ways can help your dog have consistency and reliability in competitions where ultimately you won't have reinforcement. So day 6's challenge was how many behaviours that your dog can do in 1 minute. And again, that was just really about having a bit of fun with your dog, seeing how well your dog can do those behaviours. But also a massive part of competition training is what I call chaining. Chaining and linking behaviours together in succession for one reinforcement is an integral part of preparing your dog for competition. I use the analogy of, I always use my analogy of my daughter riding her bike in my road, and she can do so brilliantly. But if I asked her to go to the Tour de France, she might have a little bit of struggle because there's loads of steps in between. We need to prepare the dog, or in my case, my daughter, for the environment and challenges that she's going to face. So that's the same for when we compete with our dogs. We need to provide them with the necessary steps to go from what they can do at home to competition, and one of which is being able to string several exercises together for one reinforcement, and additionally the dog being able to do it in lots of different environments. So great that you guys embraced that. And our day 7 challenge was, which is the one that was posted today, was sending your dog to a target but proofing the dog going out. So again, if you do obedience, agility, field trials, working trials, IGP, having the dog understand to ignore the distractions and do the task at hand is a massive part of training. The reason why I would present it in that manner is that sets the tone and the foundation for the dog, irrespective of what you're going to train. So I know that people have really, really enjoyed the challenges. The feedback I've had about them has been fantastic. I am really, really grateful for your participation, your enthusiasm, the joy, the fact that you've gone out there and embraced the challenges and taken so much from it has been absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much for that. So is there any questions from anybody that has picking up this live on the challenges, how to move it forward, how to any problems with their own dogs and so forth and so forth? I know there was questions on the various threads on Facebook, on Instagram, and I hopefully answered them. If I didn't, by all means prompt me again. But I also redirected you to the recap, because in the recap sessions there was lots of additional information that I gave on those specific challenges. Obviously I'm going to break down today's challenge in a little bit more detail, but just giving you the opportunity to see if there's any questions on any of the challenges thus far. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So Katrina said, I missed yesterday's live, so if this was discussed, I apologise. Can you talk about frustration, please, and how to prevent it? but also how to recover the dog from when it's teaching training behavior. So frustration is something that is inevitable in training. Your dog or you are going to get frustrated. So first and foremost, be patient with yourself and be patient with the dog. Secondly, frustration is normally an indicator that the dog is either to do with the reinforcement and the dog wanting the reinforcement, or alternatively, it's the dog lacking clarity in what you want. So one of the first things that I ask people to do, let me shift out the sun, is to video their training sessions to see if they can note where the point of frustration is for the dog, and make sure you are critical of your those pillars of effective training: timing, rate of reinforcement, criteria, and your mechanics is another part that you really need to be au fait on. So evaluate those 4 things and make sure that you are really, really clear on all those 4 entities, because if you're not, that will in itself create frustration. Okay, if your timing is out, if your reinforcement is not correct, or you're inconsistent, your mechanics are poor, that can create frustration. So first evaluate that. Secondly, I teach my dogs to work through frustration, but I do it in a very systematic manner by shaping. And again, I've talked about that, I think on one of the recap sessions, certainly in some previous sessions, where I use the skill of teaching my dog to shape and offer behaviour and then systematically make it more challenging. I will induce a level of frustration, but the dog is taught how to systematically work through that frustration. That is a massive, massive skill to develop in any dog, especially dogs that are prone to reactive behaviour. A little sneaky little tip there. So one of the foundation steps I do with dogs that are prone to frustration and therefore reactivity as a result of that frustration is to teach them how to deal with their own level of frustration. So hopefully that's answered that question. Let me see the second part of that question. Am I ahead for you? And how to recover from when teaching. So I'm not sure I understand that question entirely, but if you mean the dog making a error, it would depend on the error. So I would obviously evaluate the dog's understanding on that individual exercise, or that individual behaviour or skill. If the dog has made an error, I would simply try again. I would try no more than 3 times, which again I talked about in the recap session. And if the dog made an error 3 times, then I would consider revising my chain and adapting it so the dog is successful, and then isolating that behaviour and working on it and strengthening it individually. Okay, hopefully that answers the question. Oh, bless you, Sophie, you've had COVID. That sucks. So I'm glad that it's helped stay, giving you something to be motivated by. That's brilliant. I love that. Brenda said, plenty to work on. Thank you for a brilliant week. Oh, my pleasure. I've enjoyed putting it together, I have to say, and I'm glad that so many people have enjoyed it. Yeah, Bonnie, you've done amazingly well this week, and yeah, definitely where is to make better, which is what it's all about, really. Yeah. Janine, it helps revisit some of the exercises and watch the videos. I can see what needs to be cleaned up. Excellent, that's what I love. More of a general question from Eva. How do you know when to stop a training session? Tell me the difference between the dog finding it a bit tricky and needing increasing reinforcement versus the dog is too tired to learn. So that is really trial and error, to be truthful, Eva. Some of my dogs have a lot more stamina and tenacity. You learn to feel, and what you're looking for is the dog's performance rate. If the dog starts to get sloppier in its performance, or there's a hesitation, or the dog's showing displacement or concern, I would pump the brakes and stop my training session. Again, video your training sessions. I cannot overemphasize that. Video your training sessions on a regular basis, because that is going to be a game changer for improving your training. I always say to people, there is a trainer and a coach that's willing to go out with you and train 24/7, 365 in all weathers, terrains, etc. And that is the person looking at you in the mirror. Use their skill set, and it will improve your eye, so that when you're in the midst of training, you're going to have, a greater possibility of success. So yeah, definitely video your training session, because that will help you learn when to feel. There is no exact science with it. Settle. Good boy, no. Good boy. Good. Settle. Good boy. Well done. So I know that there isn't an exact science about what a dog's threshold is. If I have a dog that's really low drive, then I'll keep my session super, super, super short. The sun is really bright. I should have put something up there. 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Some dogs, when I was working on play with some dogs, it might be 10 seconds. So always err on the side of caution, leave the dog wanting more ideally, but it isn't a bad thing to sometimes, depending on your session. Sometimes, you know, my sessions are going really badly, I'll just abort the training session, give the dog some food or some treats and just end and then rethink what I've got to work on. It's always about evaluating your own training session. Rachel said, love this week. It's been great to having something to focus on each day. Yeah, it's been super fun. I have to say that the videos people have put have just, like, every morning I'll wake up and I'll look through my feed of all the videos. It's been great watching people train their dogs. You know, it's the thing that for me has been a huge part of what I do, and especially, as I said, it's been a somewhat challenging week for various reasons, and this has been a real source of joy, so thank you very much for those of you who participate. So I'm just going to check if there's any final question. Let's have a look. Oh, there's another message. Oh, one of my students has won their last beer. Shout out to Angela Watson. Well done. That's her dog Sione, and we always have cakes to celebrate, so that's going to be a good day at training, our next training session, so that was good. So let's have a quick look, make sure I've not missed any questions. Let's just have a quick look. Sometimes... Oh, hang on. Let's have a quick look. I don't think so. I think yeah, well done, Angela. Yeah, really great for her. More importantly, cake. More cake. Woohoo! So I don't think there's any questions. Obviously, as I mentioned, all this week, as you've been submitting your videos, I have collated all the people that have posted and tagged, used the hashtag 7 Days of Dog Sports Challenges in their posts, and I have put it into a app which selects somebody at random. So I have that person's name who has won a place on either, and it's up to them which one they have, which they want to partake in, either the Heelwork Masterclass or the Obedience Fanatics course. And in addition to that, they get to be part of my VIP Obedience Fanatics group, which again is where you can get feedback, coaching, additional content, be part of a fantastic community of like-minded people that use reinforcement and are succeeding in all sports across the globe, literally across the globe. So there's people that have competed at Crufts, at IGP, at Heelwork to Music, at Rallyo Nationals, at Crufts in Rallyo, in Working Trials, in there's a Mondio participant in there. There are people that do field trials for their dogs. There's an absolute massive eclectic mix of dog sports, and they are not only a fantastic group of people that are supportive and collaborative, but also they are fantastic to coach. And somebody is going, who I obviously got the name, is going to get access to that if that's something that you are interested in. So if you don't get the place, I'd love to have you in the group and be able to support you in your dog sport career and allow you to achieve your best. As I gave you a look around on, I think it was Friday, so if you look at the Friday recap, you can have a nosy round the group and have a look what it looks like. And obviously the website is moved to a new platform, which is super easy to get around. Really I love the platform, Mighty Networks. I'll share the links if you're interested in subscribing and being part of that group. And I would love to have people that are enthusiastic about dog sports, wanting to take it to the next level, become a part of that community, and help you excel and achieve your dreams. However, without further ado, the person, drum roll please, that has won the place and was selected is Esther Zimmerman. So I know Esther from FDSA. She lives in the States. It's great to that she, one of the many, loads of people posted. It's been fantastic. So I'm going to tag Esther. Well done. Let's just do that. Oh. Get in contact to arrange access. So I'm going to tag her in that post. I'll reach out to Esther privately. Thank you all of you, those that have submitted their videos. As I said, feel free to keep posting. It's great to see people, embracing the challenges, learning from it, getting the best out of their dogs, and also, oh gosh, hopefully my internet is coming out all right. Let me just check because it says my internet's a bit wobbly. Let's have a look. Let's Let's have a quick look. Oh no, I think it's all right. All good, all good, all good. So, thank you very much for those of you that have participated. If you haven't had a chance to watch the recaps, all the recaps are on my YouTube page, and there's a playlist entitled 7-Day Dog Sport Challenge. So all you have to do is go on that playlist and have a look. There is stacks of video and they're free content, which, you know, go and have a look. If you're interested in dog sports or anything that I do, check that out. Reactivity, dog sports, dog training, competing, anything. Stacks of stuff on there. Check out my YouTube page and obviously Instagram and social media. But I want to again just reach out to everybody and say thank you so much for your participation. It's been a fantastically fun week. I hope that you've got loads from it. So today's challenge was really about proofing and testing a dog's understanding of a behaviour and seeing if the dog understood that, again, it's to do the thing to get the thing. So we initially played with the toy, and then you can use that toy as a distraction and as a reinforcement, and that's a great thing. So the dog understands fluently that they can get the thing that they want most by doing the behaviour that you've asked. Now that is a great principle to teach your dog, irrespective of what sport you partake in, or it's a great concept to teach your dog in general. So whether it be the squirrel over the park, or whether it be, you know, the opportunity to go swimming or to run and greet the other dog, if our dog understands the way to get the thing that they want is to offer us a behaviour that we want, or to give us a behaviour that we want, that's a game changer. It's going to make a massive difference in your dog's understanding. When you first do that, and again, it's based on Susan Garrett's It's Your Choice. If you're not familiar with Susan Garrett, I'd urge you to check her out. Susan Garrett, which is, she does a podcast, Shaped by Dog, on YouTube. Check that out. I mean, she's a friend and a mentor. So have a look at that, her stuff. But It's Your Choice underpins everything that I do with my dogs, and certainly that exercise is very much It's Your Choice moment. The dog is I'm using the thing the dog wants now as a distraction, but the dog hopefully understands the exercise and the behaviour enough to understand how to access the thing that they want. If I can interweave that into my training, distractions no longer become the enemy. They actually can be working for me. That's a great metaphor to teach any behaviour that you can think of. Certainly those of you that train sports where there is a self-reinforcing entity to it. Obedience doesn't have that as much, but certainly IGP, any bite work sport, any field trial sport, any agility dog, anything where the dog finds the behaviours intrinsically reinforcing, you want to teach the dog that the way to get reinforcement is to offer behaviour that you want to get the thing that they want, I should say. So it definitely incorporate that into your training. Let me know your thoughts about the 7-day challenge. It's been super fun. Thank you all very much for your kind comments and feedback. It's been a great fun week. If you're interested in signing up for any of the courses, I will share information on there. And if you're wondering about what it gives you, just reach out to me, send me a private message, and I can give you some guidance, and I can give you some access. If you, or I can give you information. If you are want to have a look or a little bit nosy around the site, there you can go to Friday's episode and recap, and you will which was day 5. The day 5 recap, and you can have a little snoop around, and because I gave everybody a little bit of a glimpse into the website and the Facebook group. Alright guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you very much once again. Esther, reach out to me and I will sort out your access to the course. I'll share the link for those of you that are considering joining, and I'd love to have you become part of the community and be able to help you realise your dreams. For me, from whatever you're doing, have a good evening. Again, you know, my dogs certainly give me a lot of joy. Training of them gives me a lot of joy. And we don't have them long enough, so enjoy the process of training. Whatever you're doing, be safe. Take care, everybody. See you soon.